Master Your Destiny on 99 FM.
Welcome to the MYD Studios. Karen, we are delighted to have you back in studio with us, this time with a really hot topic.
Juicy.
Yeah,
Money.
very juicy. But an important one to discuss.
Yes.
Because we have so many beliefs and expectations around money. So when talking expectations, we need to understand where our mindset is at when it comes to creating our wealth. Let's talk about expectations and our beliefs. How do they mold our experience in life?
Well, our expectations actually create our reality. So if you're expecting something, you're actually magnetizing that thing to your life. That's how we create. That's one of the, when I teach manifesting tools, that's one of the strongest manifesting tools that we've got is your expectations and what you're thinking about and what you're putting out there into your future. So if you're expecting good, you're going to get good. If you're expecting hardship and struggle, guess what you're going to get?
It's amazing to think the amount of power then we would have in our circumstances. Because then an argument would be, but I am a victim of my circumstance. It's happening around me. I have nothing to do with it. What would your answer to that be?
I would answer, it's true. You're a victim of your circumstances. Absolutely. We all are. We all get born into certain circumstances. So that makes us if you want to use that word, victim of your circumstances. Sure. But a funny thing happens when you become an adult, and that is that you get to create new circumstances in your life. When you're a kid, not so much. You're kind of powerless, more or less. You kind of have to do what adults are telling you to do and go along with, what's happening in the home and what's happening at the schools and all of that. But when you're an adult, you get to change that script. You get to change the way you want to think about your life. So that's where it gets really interesting with creating your own reality.
And is this something that every person should be doing in their life? Should we be looking as an adult, what are my expectations and my beliefs? Should I be reviewing this?
Absolutely, because it's just power. It's just power. It's your own personal power that you get to exercise in your life. So why not?
Absolutely.
You can go on and you can continue being the victim and saying, well, I was born into this circumstance, and well, I didn't have the opportunities, or well, I, am not talented at this, or I didn't have this, kind of upbringing. There are plenty of people who had really tough upbringings that have proved that wrong, so you don't get to use that as your excuse. You can continue on with it if you want to. You certainly, have that power to do that, but why would you when we've got so much power to change things for the better in our life?
Absolutely. Very good argument right there. So now let's talk about the hot topic, the thing that we are usually very uncomfortable talking about, and that is money and our sense of wealth. How does money tie into expectations and beliefs?
Our ideas and our beliefs about money actually start early on in our lives. We kind of absorb what's happening in the home, and whatever our parents are thinking about money or their beliefs about money, or the circumstances and the actual experiences, the things that are happening around money, we're absorbing that, and we're becoming, that's becoming our belief system just by being sponges that we are as children. So we sponge all that up, and then we carry that on in our lives. And so, like we were talking about a little bit earlier, your expectations create your reality. So if you get beliefs from your childhood, you're going to have those beliefs. If you don't review them, you're going to still have them into your adulthood. And then you're going to have expectations based on those beliefs, and you're going to create the same patterns that happened when, in your household. So like if there were struggles around money when you were growing up, if you have a look at those and you really start kind of shining a light on those and see what they are, I'll bet you'll find the same kinds of struggles in your life today around the same kind of pattern or that same issue.
So is this why there is a saying that poverty is also a mindset? Can you explain it a little bit for us in that sense?
Yeah, and I know that this causes people a lot of, they get angry at this because sure, poverty is a horrible thing, and it is something that you can see people are born into it. And we are in this, you're in that belief, you're in that mindset because of, what we've been talking about, because of the way that you've been experiencing your life. And there's also, there's a poverty mindset, but there's also a prosperity mindset. So if you want to move over to a prosperity mindset, you've got to start looking at your poverty mindset and see, how can I change this? It all begins inside first,
As it always does, right?
It does. I mean, if you look at somebody like, I'll just use Oprah Winfrey as an example. She grew up in poverty. But one thing that she did was she started journaling very young, and she's one of these people who've journaled all her life, and she started questioning things in her journal, like to herself, kind of asking herself questions and getting answers in the journal, and she started to realize that what she thought about could be changed. The way that she was thinking could be changed, and she could create her own reality. And look at her, who has got probably more money than God does. I think, she probably loans him money every now and again when he needs it. That she started out with a poverty mindset and she changed it.
That's incredible. And it's an example of why it is that we need to ourselves be looking at our mindset when it comes to poverty or prosperity. How can we identify which realm we're playing in?
I think one of the quickest ways to find out where you are right now, if you've got a poverty mindset or a prosperity mindset or somewhere in between, is to write out an ideal situation of your life. If you had as much money as you needed for all of your needs, plus all of your wants, what would your life look like? So if you just wrote that out as like a little vision, I'm doing this and I'm doing that and I'm buying this and I'm spending time with these people and I'm whatever it is, and you do it in the present tense, okay? Because that always sort of evokes a realness. And if you write that out and you read that, you're going to get some feelings of whoa, wait a second, what? And all of your beliefs are going to start popping up, who do you think you are? Or this is ridiculous, or aren't you being greedy, or no, you can't do that, or that's not for you, or money is not for you, money is only for this kind of person, or that's going to make you a certain kind of person if you have that kind of money, or no one's going to like me if I have, so all these things will start popping up. And that's the best way to sort of tap them, and get them to start, rearing their heads, because actually our blocks about money, we don't really realize we have them. We don't actually know it. We all say we want more money, but we're actually repelling it at the same time we say that, and it's sort of behind the scenes. We don't realize we're doing it.
That's really incredible. How are we repelling it then? How can our beliefs chase our money away in that instance, like you just explained?
Okay, so an example would be maybe I say I want more money, okay, and then I actually get a raise at my job and I'm making more money and I sabotage myself. I spend all the money. I become, now I'm struggling again with the money. I just, I don't save some. I don't use it wisely. Anytime I get more money than I think I deserve, I somehow, get rid of it in a quick way without realizing it.
Wow. And so by looking at what the ideal situation could be, and then realizing the thoughts that go with that, oh, I don't deserve to have that kind of money, or oh, that would make me greedy, all the examples you've just mentioned now, that is then our belief. And when we can see it, we can start tackling it.
Yeah. Once you see it, you shine a light on it, and then you can start asking it questions. Like, okay, so if my belief is that rich people are greedy, that's a real common belief. So if I shine a light on that and I believe that because I have evidence of people that were greedy who were rich in our in our neighborhood maybe, or something like that, then I can start asking the question: do I have to be greedy in order to have money? Do I have to be that way? Does money actually create greediness, or was the person greedy before they had the money? Is it just money is neither good nor bad. It's a tool that we use to make exchange easy. We could do bartering things, and bartering's nice, but it also becomes a little complicated after a while. So money is just a tool that makes exchange really easy and quick, and it doesn't actually have any inherent energy to it. It doesn't have a good energy to it. It doesn't have a bad energy to it. It has whatever it goes through a filter. So if I'm the filter, it's going to go through my filter. So maybe I'm a very generous person, I will use my money to, for good. If I'm a very greedy person, I will use my money for greedy purposes. If I'm an in-between person, I'll use that money for in-between purposes. It all has to do with the filter that it goes through. So if we want to heal our blocks or our limiting beliefs around money, then we just have to shine a light on it and say, does that belief have to pertain to me? Or where did I get that? And if you do a little excavating, you can find that, maybe your father used to say things about, oh, those people have got so much money, they're so greedy, we don't like them. And you wanted to please your father, so you adopt that belief. It's very sort of under the surface. We don't realize we're doing it. But when you start to shine a light on it, then you get to make choices to change it or not, if you want to.
Master Your Destiny on 99 FM.